street. News from the street. 919fm.com. News from the street. 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, the cost of gas can go back down if oil price falls. The Prime Minister to leave the country Sunday for more high-level banking talks, this time in the U.S. Fishermen threaten to continue protesting, and news outside of Trinidad and Tobago, small plane crashes on main road in Haiti, killing 6. And now the news in detail. If the price of oil drops significantly, it would be reasonable to expect that the price at the pump will also go down. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley indicated this during a media conference yesterday after he returned from an official trip to Barbados. Dr. Rowley said it should be noted that government is still bearing a significant portion of the cost of gas, adding that the reality is that the product costs more than the taxpayer is paying. Dr. Rowley said he felt the price that citizens are paying is reasonable, given the nature and state of the country's ability to finance it. The Finance Ministry is working on posting the fuel prices each month. Meanwhile, Dr. Keith Rowley will leave the country Sunday and head to the United States for more talks on de-risking and corresponding banking. The meeting is a follow-up to the round-table discussion on de-risking and correspondent banking in Barbados. At that meeting, U.S. officials agreed to hold hearings with CARICOM leaders to ventilate challenges faced by the regional banking sector. De-risking occurs when financial institutions terminate or restrict business relationships with clients or categories of clients to avoid rather than manage risk. The Prime Minister noted that this country is among several that have been penalized or on the verge of being penalized for banking operations that are not acceptable. Dr. Rowley said nations ought not to be held accountable for things they are not guilty of. In other news, fed up of the rising cost of living, fishermen are threatening to continue protesting until the authorities throw them a lifeline. With the price increase in fuel, the fishermen say they're now earning much less. This morning, small business operators helped the fishermen block the southern main road in Claxton Bay near the fishing depot. The fishermen say they have endured enough. Meanwhile, agricultural economist Omadath Maharaj said the protest will get worse if the issue is not rectified soon. Maharaj wants the TNT government to follow in the footsteps of other countries such as the Philippines and provide a fuel discount for farmers and fisherfolk so they could continue to provide quality, wholesome food. Maharaj noted that the subsidy could be provided via fuel vouchers to register fisherfolk and farmers so their cost production and the price of their food will be lower. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago now. A small plane has crashed onto a major road in the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince, killing at least 6 people. The aircraft was on its way from the capital to the southeastern port town of Jacmel when it came down in the suburb of Carrefour. The plane injured several people on the ground. The pilot was one of those who initially survived but died of his injuries in hospital. Officials said engine failure was to blame. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, the cost of gas can go back down if oil price falls. The Prime Minister to leave the country Sunday for more high-level banking talks, this time in the U.S. Fishermen threaten to continue protesting, and regionally small plane crashes on the main road in Haiti, killing 6. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.